Hi guys, I was going to do a little bit of a video on this Westerbeke generator that I got. It's a 5.0 BCG 2009. So anyway, little backstory on it. I was on vacation in Florida, and of course, like always, I always search for things to buy, marketplace, Craigslist, whatever. So I found this thing not too far from the hotel we were staying. The guy had it listed for $500. I was like, geez, that's a good price. I wonder what's wrong with it. He said for parts. So I called the guy up just to kind of get a little bit of information on it, see if it's something worth checking out. And basically, the story that I was told was he works on yachts, larger boats, and this particular boat came in. He was underway with some bad weather, trying to truck through some 20-foot swells, and apparently took on a little bit of water and was kind of sloshing around in the bilge. So apparently the generator was running while it was underway, and he said that this generator did not get submerged in salt water, but he said it filled the bilge a little bit with water, and it basically got splashed a whole bunch with salt water, and he said it was enough to shut the generator down. Now, I don't know if it inhaled a little bit of water, but we're going to check it out. I do know it turns over. I have turned over by hand. All the connections and stuff, circuit boards and everything, really don't look too bad, all things considered, especially it being a saltwater vessel. You got a little bit of corrosion on the heat exchanger and stuff, but honestly, overall, I'm very surprised at the condition. I have another Kohler 5E that I was trying to fix up, and that sucker is just a crusty mess. I got it to run. Just real quickly, I'll show it to you over here. This is my Kohler 5E. It's also a 5,000 watt generator, but this thing, man, I get this thing to run, and I probably will. It does run, actually. It does produce power. It just has some circuit board issues. The carburetor on it is very corroded. So I actually bought a new carburetor for this Kohler, but all that aside, on these Kohlers, I'll just talk about these real quick. This is the second one I've had. They seem to be a little overbuilt, a little over-engineered, and the electronics on them, they're just a little bit more electronics than most generators. The wiring, the connectors all get corroded. Even the freshwater ones I've seen. And to kind of top it off with these 5Es, these Kohlers, they use a Kawasaki engine, and it's not a real huge two-cylinder engine. I think it's like a 15, 16, 17 horse twin-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, which is basically the same engine they use in some of the lawn and garden equipment, lawnmower. It's just an overcomplicated lawnmower engine. They did make some liquid cool lawnmower engines that are very, very similar to this one, like a 26 or 27 horse liquid cooled, and apparently they've had a lot of issues with overheating, and even these 5Es, they had a lot of issues of overheating. Everyone I've had some sort of overheating problem. So, I don't know. This one, I'll get it to run, probably do okay. I may just sell it because I'm just not that big a fan of the Kohler 5E, even though I seem to know everything about it. So I'm definitely going to try this Westerbeke, or Westerbeke, whatever you want to call it. They seem to be a very top brand in generators. This one doesn't look very far gone, doesn't look very hard to get it going again. Possibly, I don't know, just from the surface of it. So we're going to check it out. If it ends up being an easy kill and ends up running and does everything it needs to do while bench testing it, I'll just go ahead and put this one in my boat instead of that Kohler 5E. So anyway, enough talking about them. Some of the basic things I was just going to tell you about this one right off the bat. And as I got it, the starter was off of it. The guy that I got it from started semi-messing with it. And, he just didn't have time. He just wanted to get rid of it. So, the starter, that was actually the first thing I tested. And it seemed to be halfway working, but the solenoid was bad. So I did just go to the parts store. Went to 3 parts stores. Actually ended up at AutoZone, which I'm not a big fan of, but they did have a very, very similar solenoid. The only difference was this starter signal lug was different. So if anybody's doing the exact same thing with the Westerbeke, this is the part number solenoid. Maybe save you some headache like I did. Took me several hours to find it. I did bench test the starter. It is working fine. So I'm going to install it probably here in the next few minutes and kind of go over this thing, check some stuff, pull the plugs. I did notice that the throttle and the choke are kind of sticky on this thing, so I don't know how deep we're gonna need to go with this thing, but really the first thing is just check the important stuff on it. Check the cylinders for any kind of water damage, and then I did check the oil. It looks pretty clean. Probably really not going to change it right away. I just like to spend the bare minimum as possible. You never know until you start trying to crank this thing. It could be completely dead. Who knows? So I'm not going to spend some money on oil until I know I can move forward with it. So anyway, I will kind of leave you right here, and then I'll do the next step.